Hi, and welcome along to AFTV Transfer Daily, the show that keeps you up to date with players that will be linked with a January transfer move to Arsenal. Getting ready for the weekend's game. Of course, Arsenal taking on Manchester United, another huge game. Then after that, we take on Tottenham Hotspur, who got a very good win last night against a really lacklustre Liverpool. I think it shows you the amount of games that all the teams are playing at the moment. Some teams are lacklustre, us and Liverpool. If we can get ourselves together, their charge is still on. But strengthening in January is very, very important, I feel, for this Arsenal team. On that, one of the areas that Arsenal may be looking to strengthen before they even bring in any players is bringing in Tomáš Rosický. And I'm not on about him to come in and play because he retired a little while ago, but him to come in as Arsenal's new sporting director. Now, very interestingly, nobody's in that role at the moment. Remember, Edu left, at the start of the season, so there's no Edu doing the transfer dealings at the moment. So who is doing it? There's no sporting director at the moment. And Arsenal was said to be very, very interested in bringing in Tomáš Rosický, of course, a fan favourite here at Arsenal for many, many years, played for the club for 10 years. Since his retirement, excuse me, this cold is still going around. Since his retirement, he's been working as a sporting director at Sparta Prague since 2018, and Arsenal interested in bringing him in as their new sporting director at Arsenal. Now, they're also speaking to Luis Campos, who's currently at PSG, and also Brentford's director of football, Phil Giles. But Tomáš Rosický said to be the favourite for that role. Whoever comes in to do it, and I'd love Rosický to come in because I think it's always great to have Arsenal people involved. But whoever comes in to do it, it's a very important job and a job that you have to get right. If you don't get your signings right, the team doesn't prosper. And you've got to get the right signings, players that understand the culture of the club, players that are going to fit the system of what the manager wants. It is so, so important. But who's coming this month? Bryan Mbeumo continues to be linked with Arsenal, was linked heavily yesterday, still linked very, very heavily today by various outlets. They're saying that Mikel Arteta is interested in possibly bringing him in this month. Now, we know there is no Bukayo Saka. He's out at the moment. He's had surgery on his hamstring. We don't know if he'll even be back for this season. Who's going to replace him? We know that Raheem Sterling has been supposedly that player who's supposed to be replacing him, but he's hardly played. He didn't even get on the other night. Could Arsenal move for Mbeumo? 13 goals in the Premier League this season. He's been absolutely superb. Scored against us the other day, a great goal. He's been consistent over the years. Arsenal, I think, will be a great fit for him. He's Premier League ready. But would Brentford sell him in this January transfer window? That is the thing. Thomas Frank said the other day, good luck to you, Arsenal, in trying to get him. But it is Brentford. No disrespect. If Arsenal went in there with a massive offer, even a team like Brentford may be tempted to sell Bryan Mbeumo. And I think that would be a great addition to the team. But could Arsenal get it done? One to watch this January transfer window. The other one that Arsenal are very interested in, I'm talking about this daily, I spoke about it almost daily in the summer as well, is Nico Williams. Lots of claims that Arsenal want him this month. Mikel Arteta specifically would like to sign him this month. The journalist Graham Bailey saying that Arsenal willing to move on him this month, but there's a big issue when it comes to getting this deal done. Now we know there's been a lot of talk at the start of this window that Arsenal have got money to spend, that they'll throw it, at signings if that right signing is out there. We know that Arteta thinks Nico Williams is that right signing. He's got that release clause of around about £48 million. But here comes the sticking point. First of all, the wages he's on, or the wages he'd want. There's reports that he'd want around about £300,000 a week, which would possibly make him like the highest earner at the club, even more than Saka. That then offers a problem up because, Saka and various other players are going to be like, well, hold on a minute. If he's getting that, I want more. Quite rightly so as well. So there's a sticking point on the wages. I think that's something that could be negotiated down. The other thing is the release clause of £48 million. that would have to be paid up front. That is what the deal is. Now, on a lot of transfers, how it works is you'll see like even a deal for Declan Rice, which is 100 million, that'll be played over a series of years. It won't all be paid immediately. You'll be paying that over a series of years. But when you've got to pay £48 million up front, that then all of a sudden makes it a lot more difficult to do when you're trying to balance the book and meet up to all, PSR, which is the profit and sustainability rules. So to get that deal done this month is going to be really, really tough, even though, as I said, Arsenal want to get it done. And apparently, rumours are saying that the player has a willingness now to actually leave Athletic Bilbao and would be willing to come to Arsenal or another Premier League club. Going to be interesting. One to monitor. Very, very tough to get done this month, but let's see. Another player from Spain that is interesting at Arsenal is Ronald Araújo of Barcelona. Uruguayan international, 25-year-old centre-back. Very, very good player. According to Mundo Deportivo, they claim that Arsenal are interested in signing him and could make a move for him this month. Now, that's not really, I'm not saying the guy's not a good player. I'm not saying the guy wouldn't be a great fit for Arsenal. Centre-back, we're all right there at the moment. We got, Saliba, Gabriel. You got Kivior there. You got Ben White, who can play as a centre-back. You've got Calafiori, who was a centre-back before he even came to Arsenal, can play as a centre-back. We need a striker, not another centre-back. But you do have to look out there for quality players. And this guy, his contract's up in 18 months. He hasn't got a new deal done yet. Barcelona said to be possibly willing to sell him. And Arsenal are interested, and you've got to look out there for quality. Juventus also want to bring Araújo to Italy, but they only want to bring him on loan. Arsenal said to be willing to actually make a full purchase of him. One to watch. Would Arsenal, in January, a centre-back? I mean, it would make no sense to me, but I'm just reporting what's out there at the moment, and it wouldn't surprise me, right, if Arsenal went and got another centre-back, even though we all know the priority should be a striker. Another player from Spain that Arsenal are looking at is Joan García. Now, remember in the summer, Arsenal were trying to sign this guy from Espanyol. He's a goalkeeper, 23 years of old, very, very talented. And Arsenal were trying to make a bid to sign him. They made a bid, I think around about £16 million, which was rejected by Espanyol. And he ended up staying. And in the end, Arsenal had to go and bring in Neto. He's not even played yet for Arsenal. Could figure this weekend, actually, against Manchester United. They bought him in on loan from Bournemouth. But it's been said that Arsenal now may go back in for Joan García. Espanyol have softened their stance on him. They are willing to sell him. The player would like to come to Arsenal, and Arsenal are actively working on a deal to get this done. Now, again, it's a player's got a release clause, said to be around about £25 million. Arsenal, though, again, wouldn't want to pay all this money up front. That's the thing with a lot of these release clauses in Spain. It's money up front. I think it was the same for Thomas Partey when we bought him at the time. They ain't going to really want to pay that up front. That's why I feel that this one is more going to be a summer move. They've already got Neto on loan. I just can't see it happening right now, even though there are some outlets claiming that Arsenal could move for him this month. I'd be surprised by that. I'd be more looking at this and thinking this is something that could happen in the summer. But again, one to keep an eye on, Joan García being linked with a move to Arsenal. So those are the rumours for today. Of course, we're all out there. I mean, there's so many people right now interested in what Arsenal are going to do this month. I mean, every time I go out on the road, everybody's stopping me and saying, Robbie, we've got to get a striker, or we've got to get a forward player. Will Arsenal get it done this month? I think we will. I think we will make a signing of a forward player. If we don't, Let's see what happens. Let's see what happens. What are we? 9th of January. Window shuts in 3rd of February. Let's see what happens. Thanks for watching the show, and I'll see you tomorrow.